Hi, it's the 3rd of April 2018 at 11:45 a.m. Narcissism can be a good thing in the beginning. It's really it's a way of encouraging somebody to push themselves, to strive. Like you're telling your child that, oh, good girl or good boy, yeah, you're doing well. Oh, that's good. Yeah, and then that grows, and they do well in class and what have you, and the teachers at school, oh, that's good, yeah, that's good, yeah. So it's more positive reinforcement, we call it. But what seems to happen eventually is then you've got everybody patting everybody on the back, telling them what wonderful people they are, and you've got corporations, congratulating them on buying their product. A smart decision. You are a smart person for choosing our product over everybody else's. And eventually, as far as I can see, yes, it does get, it does help, drive people to a large extent, but it seems to come with a price. And the price seems to be basically greed, jealousy, hatred, lots of hate. Seems to be the way. I could be wrong, but that seems to be what comes out of it. And well, I'll put it to you this way: I don't see the Western world, particularly at the moment, as a place of great joy and love and happiness anywhere. I see a lot of hatred. Actually, I see a lot of it on the channel. Hatred toward women, hatred toward society, hatred toward the system. And that's understandable. You've been doused with hatred yourselves, and so what you're living in this environment of hate. So eventually, it's a toxic environment. It's going to rub off on you, and you'll yourself become filled with hate. I escaped it. I just don't think that's the answer. I don't think hatred is the answer. I think love is the answer, actually. Love, warmth, friendliness, happiness, finding a way to be filled with love and to share that love with others. I know that sounds corny. I'm not a hugger. Okay, I go around hugging people, but I find for those that are open to it, I find a way to be friendly and try and give them lift their life. They're good to me, I'm good to them in return. It's a reciprocating arrangement, and I find it helps me get through the day and helps me, in a time where I miss my children and what have you. So, I try to surround myself with as much warmth and love as I possibly can to compensate for my loss. That's just my own crummy way of doing it. There'd be any number of guys here that would tell me, no, live by yourself, just be greedy. Well, that's just more of the same, isn't it? That's just, living by myself, consuming my own, I don't see, okay, so I'm going to be filled with hate. And it doesn't actually lead to happiness or any feel of joy or anything else like that. So, no, I think bugger that. No, I'll just keep going and try and find another way to share my love. Well, I think I might have oversold the idea to one particular person, but I'll get to that in a moment. I'll just give you a bit of the backstory first. I was talking to Floor the other night, and I said, Floor, really, do you think you could talk to AB? My idea, for those of you who aren't aware of my idea, I'm going to send up a beer kit, or was planning to send up a beer kit to AB, so she could make beer, and then guys like me could, just get 2 or 3 guys or something, buy her a beer occasionally, someone to have a beer with. She's a load of fun. So she could sell her beers for $1 each and keep most of it as profit, and that'd be a way of making money for her. She's always complaining about having no money, and I thought it was a good idea. Couldn't see any problems with it, but she just didn't seem to be responding to it at all. She didn't seem interested at all. I thought, okay, it's too lazy for me. I mean, she could have gotten somebody else to actually make the beer, paid a local guy a few bucks to make a big vat of beer for her and whatever. She could have worked it out, but she just didn't seem to have any interest whatsoever. Yeah, so anyway, I said to Floor, can you have a chat to her and just see what's going on, just feel it out a bit, because it's driving me mad, to be honest. I'm not going to send up a beer kit to somebody who has no interest. And Floor said, okay, I'll do that for you. And anyway, I was speaking to AB that night, and I said, I'm going to get Flora to message you, have a chat to you about, what's going on. She said, why? I said, oh, well, it's just, I've got this idea and you just don't seem very interested. I just want to see, what you're thinking. Underneath it all, I've never been confident about AB's ability with English. I often think she doesn't understand half of what I'm saying. So I thought Flora could actually talk to her and find out what her reservations were and I could deal with them. Anyway, AB just said, no, everything's changed. Well, okay, well, what's happened? She said, oh, Bri came over last week and had both me and my sister. Yeah, now I think we're both pregnant. And I mean, you could have just knocked me over with a feather. I just thought, I've seen a business plan get fucked before, but not literally, and not like that. I would never have dreamt that in my life. And I said, yeah, for real? You're telling me? He said, yeah. He's going to marry my younger sister. And he'll retire here and set up a business here. Uh-huh. And I thought, well, it's funny because Brian hadn't mentioned that to me. But anyway, that's his business. Yeah, so and I spoke to Brian. And he didn't go into any great deal, but he said, yeah, I fucked them both. Okay. I suppose his idea is going to retire, and if he's 55, and they're quite a bit younger. The younger sister's a lot younger. So I guess what he'll do is he's sowing the seed early for a family. It'll be growing. While he finishes his work, and then he'll sell up his house in the US and take his pension and everything, go and live happily ever after in the Philippines. I guess that's a plan. I'm surprised Sister's accepted it, but I guess he's got the resources and what have you. And look, whatever floats your boat. I haven't got a problem with it. I was just a bit surprised. Actually, I got to thinking maybe it was my fault. That he's shared his love so much, because that's the sort of thinking underneath me. I just thought, share your love. Maybe he got the idea and just a bit of overkill. But see what I do to normally to cheer him up is to I just write. It just takes me a couple of minutes, write little stories and little comments and sort of give him a laugh. See, normally what he gets when he comes on after a 12-hour shift is a whole bunch of stories from Filipino scammers. Like a sad story, they've cut the power off, haven't got internet, send $100, do you want my details now or later? And it just pisses him off like you wouldn't believe. Well, as you can imagine, he's just finished a 12-hour shift, he comes in, he wants to relax, and he's got all these, so I just write him something, just to give him a laugh or a bit of a, Anyway, a few weeks ago, I just got on this little train of thought about, I made up this little story, like I was living with AB and a little sister in a house here in Australia. Well, it was actually in cyber world. All right. I didn't really say where it wasn't that important, but I said, Bri used to be so good. And really, you just come over, you're a regular visit, you come over with slabs and slabs of beer because it was all free in, fake cyber world. You just went to the virtual store and used virtual cash and bang, it was just all virtual money. There's no real money. So you come over with a slab of beer, a couple of boxes of wine and steaks, that thick, really nice, porterhouse steaks. And we'd sit around and party, and have a barbecue and great fun, swim in the pool and you'd sort of come in, knock on the door, push me out of the way and go and have both the sisters and then we go and barbecue and party. And well, he loved the story, obviously. I think I could sense when he read it, he just sort of like it got the gears going, it was like started running a program. So it must have really taken a hold and he just thought, shit, I want to do that. That sounds too good. So he's hopped on a plane and flown over to the Philippines and had, made the fantasy come true. And now they're both pregnant. And Brian is going to have twins to two separate women, which I think is a good idea. If you want twins at that age and that lifestyle, but, it's not what I want, but good on him. It's I think it's following on from what I was saying yesterday. Bri is basically mgtow. Okay, yeah, he's not a monk. He's not doing all the no, he's anything but a monk. But yeah, talk to him about his ex-wife, and he uses that C word quite a lot. I don't like it that much, so I try not to talk about it because there's a lot of swearing, even this years later, and it's still it's look, it's a big fussy pussy sort of wound. I just don't go there. But yeah, he's mgtow. He's what I'd call mgtow. He's in the camp of my camp. Like just guys doing their own thing, gun, any which way. And it seems we're taking on multiple partners. That's the unusual thing. I just thought of that. Yeah, that's Bry's doing it. Bry's taking it to the higher level. Sisters, and they'll be both having his child at exactly the same time. It should be interesting. I was just wondering whether he might be retiring early so he can be there for the birth. I actually suggested to him, he's had a girlfriend in the jungle for years, Blossom, a very pretty girl. She's just gotten a job as a nurse in a delivery maternity hospital type of setup clinic. I was thinking, the girls could have their children with Bloss. I don't know, Blossom would be too happy, but I told Bri, look, you could be squeezing Blossom on the arse while the women having their children. I won't tell you what he said in this video, but yeah, that's a whole another story. But that's an interesting one. But it really does feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland, down the rabbit hole. Here it's a different world. It's certainly not just talking to women online. It's not like that at all. No, it's a way to live. It's like living in a soap opera of a kind, a bizarre one, and you wouldn't get it in real life. It just isn't possible in real life. But yeah, so it has its advantages. Yeah, I'm sure there are disadvantages too, but I'm happy enough in it. Anyway, I'll keep you abreast of other stories of if you're interested. I mean, I don't really mind if you're not. If you find it boring, you could find it all boring. I like it. I enjoy it. I don't want to. I don't really want to spread more hate. There's enough people spreading hate. I'm trying to avoid it. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting out of that cauldron and trying to find a new way to live. It's a bizarre way to live. It's different, but it's not filled with hatred. That real life is. Okay, it's the online world. Yeah, it's there. You just get away from it. You just sort of avoid. I don't hate the people. I don't hate the haters. I just avoid the haters. As much as possible. And you find people that are good people that lift you. Give you sort of hope for the world. Yeah, that's what I look for. Anyway, getting good talking to you. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.